Hare Krishna. Today we are going to study the verse number 20 of chapter number 5 of Bhagwat Gita as it is. Before we start today's verse, let me share something very interesting with you. Many people used to say to Srila Prabhupada that Srila Prabhupada, no one can accomplish what you have accomplished and no one can achieve what you have achieved. In answer to this, Srila Prabhupada would very humbly say that all this is only because I have presented Bhagwat Gita as it is, without changing a single word. And this is the only reason behind all my success and achievements. So, if we try to understand Bhagwat Gita as it is, then we will also surely be able to achieve the highest goal in human life. And that goal is to become God conscious or Krishna conscious. In today's verse, we are going to learn the symptoms of a Brahmavit person. Brahmavit means a person who has attained the steadiness of mind and is already situated in transcendence. It's a very important and interesting verse. So please watch the video till the end. Now, let us start reciting the verse number 20 of chapter number 5. Na prahashyet priyam prapya, no dvijet prapya cha apriyam, sthir buddhir asammudho, brahmavit brahmadi sthitah. Na prahishyet priyam prapya, no dvijet prapya cha apriyam, sthir buddhir asammudho, brahmavit brahmadi sthitah. Na prahashyet priyam prapya, no dvijet prapya cha apriyam, sthir buddhir asammudho, brahmavit brahmadi sthitah. Krishna is saying that a person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant, nor does he lament upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, unbewildered, and who knows the signs of God, is to be understood as already situated in transcendence. Na prahashyet priyam prapya, no dvijet prapya cha apriyam. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant. Sthir buddhi asammudho, brahmavit brahmadi sthitah, who is self-intelligent, unbewildered, and who knows the signs of God, is to be understood as already situated in transcendence. Now first, let us read the Anvay given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Na prahisyet. He is not excessively elated. Priyam, something pleasant. Prapya, on receiving. Na udvijet. He is not disturbed. Prapya, on obtaining. Cha, and. Apriyam, an unpleasant thing. Sthir buddhi, a person of steady intelligence. Asammudho, and not deluded. Brahmavit, a knower of transcendence. Brahmadi, in transcendence. Sthitah, situated. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that one who knows Brahma, the absolute spirit, and who is firmly situated in Brahma, has steady intelligence and is not deluded. He neither rejoices upon obtaining something pleasant nor despairs upon receiving something unpleasant. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Bhagavan speaks this verse beginning with the words Na prahisyet to describe the equal vision of the wise in relation to pleasant and unpleasant mundane events. Na prahisyet means that one is not elated, and no dvijet means that one is not dejected. Is that one must practice to be equipoised like this in the stage of sadhana. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that people, because of their false ego, become deluded by happiness and lamentation. And wise men, being free from such false ego, remain undeluded and undisturbed. Now we need to understand that what is this false ego, because of which people become deluded with happiness and lamentation. So our acharyas say that when a person thinks himself to be his material body, then all his concentration and efforts are to gain all the worldly things. And in this pursuit, sometimes he may have pleasant experience and sometimes unpleasant. Prabhupada says that when he manages to gain what he wants, then he becomes very happy. And when the opposite of it happens, then he laments. And this happiness and lamentation is because of his false ego, because he thinks himself to be his body. But the wise man is free from such false ego, because he knows fully well that he is not his body, rather, he is a spirit soul, a part of the Supreme Soul, and he has nothing to do with any kind of material gain or loss. So if he gets any material gain, he is not elated, and if he doesn't get, then too he is not bewildered. He is stable and steady in both the situations. Now let us read the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada says that today we will come to know about the symptoms of a self-realized person. The first symptom is that he is not illusioned by the false identification of the body with his true self. He knows perfectly well that he is not his body, but is the fragmental portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is therefore not joyful in achieving something, nor does he lament in losing anything which is related to his body. Srila Prabhupada says that this steadiness of mind is called sthir buddhi or self-intelligence, and he is therefore never bewildered by mistaking the gross body for the soul, nor does he accept the body as permanent and disregard the existence of the soul. In very simple layman language, he first of all never thinks himself to be his body, so he does not put excessive efforts to acquire the material things like luxurious house, luxurious car, or super stylish clothes, and he never ignores his soul for his body. He knows fully well that soul is higher than the body. Soul is permanent and the body is temporary, and the existence of the body is only because of the presence of the soul. Having this knowledge, his complete concentration and focus is on self-realization. Hence, he never disregards the soul for the sense gratification activities for his temporary material body. This knowledge elevates him to the platform of knowing the complete science of the absolute truth, that is, Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Srila Prabhupada explains to us the absolute truth with the example of the sun. The sun rays is Brahma, which is all pervading in the form of earth, sky, air, fire, and water. These are the 5 elements of the material nature, and it is the external energy of the Supreme Absolute Truth. The next form of the Supreme Absolute is Paramatma, which is like the sun globe. Srila Prabhupada says that there is only one sun, but if we keep many bowls filled with water under the sun, then we can see the reflection of sun in every bowl. Similarly, the Absolute Supreme is Krishna, but he resides in the heart of every living entity, in the 84 lakhs of species. So these were the Brahma and the Paramatma form. And now the topmost form is Nandanandan, Yashoda Nandan Krishna. Srila Prabhupada says that when a person has this complete knowledge of the Supreme Absolute and knows this also, that he is a spirit soul and an eternal servant of Krishna, then he is a Atmavit and Brahmavit. Atmavit means when a person knows fully well that he is spirit soul and not his body, and when he knows the Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, all 3 forms, and further knows that he is an eternal servant of Krishna, then he is Brahmavit. And such a Brahmavit person never becomes too much elated on any material gains, bewildered and devastated at the loss of anything related to his body. Such a person is known to be in Brahma realization or self-realization. Prabhupada says that such steady consciousness is called Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada narrates in one of his lectures a very hilarious incident that once happened in Kolkata. Prabhupada says that there was a very rich man in Kolkata who had many horses. He had kept a person as the caretaker of his horses. Once the rich man and the caretaker both bought lottery tickets. The rich man did not win anything, but the caretaker won 10 lakhs. Hearing this news, the caretaker became so elated that he had a heart attack and fell dead. This happened because of his excessive happiness on material gain. Now, we keep seeing such things around us always. Someone might become too happy on material gain or too disturbed in material loss. This happens with the people who are not self-conscious and Krishna conscious. Srila Prabhupada says that if we get some material gain, then we should offer it all to Krishna, because everything in this material world actually belongs to Krishna. So a self-realized person or a Krishna conscious person neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant, nor does he lament upon obtaining something unpleasant. Srila Prabhupada says that this steadiness of mind is called sthir buddhi or self-realization. I am sure that all of us have properly understood the symptoms of a Brahmavit person. Now it's time for us to have a self-examination. If we become very happy on gaining something related to body, like good house, good food, good clothes, etc., etc., or if we become very unhappy on the loss of something which is related to body, then we need to understand that I am still in the bodily concept of life. But if we are not so elated by the worldly material gains and not unhappy, if we do not get material things, then we can say that now I am in the process of becoming Atmavit and Brahmavit. We must understand that why has Krishna told us the symptoms of Atmavit and Brahmavit? It is because he wants us to become calm and steady in every situation. The situations of life will be sometimes pleasant and sometimes unpleasant. But we have to learn the art of being calm and steady in all odds and events. And this happens only when we know and believe a very simple thing, that I am spirit soul and not my body. And everything in this material world is only limited to my body, and it is not for me. This knowledge makes a person balanced and poised. When a person knows that everything in this material world Krishna has created, so it should be used for Krishna, and every person is a part of Krishna, and he sees himself as a spirit soul and sees everyone else also as a spirit soul, then he is truly a Atmavit and Brahmavit. Such a person doesn't get deluded and disturbed on not gaining anything material related to the body, and when he gets something, then he doesn't become overjoyed, but he offers everything to Krishna, knowing fully well that everything belongs to Krishna, so it should be used for the offering of Krishna. This is how a person can become Brahmavit, and such a person is Sthir Buddhi or self-intelligent. I thank Srila Prabhupada, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and my Shiksha Guru, His Grace Harimohan Das Prabhuji, for teaching us the most important lessons of Bhagwat Gita in such simple manner. Today's verse is so important. Today, everybody is educated. They have sufficient money to carry out their everyday needs. Rather, they have much more than that. Almost everyone leads a good and luxurious life, but their mind is not steady. They are not stable, and then they become deluded and disturbed by the temporary gains and temporary loss. And this is why everyone, almost everyone, is leading an unhappy life. And Krishna, when he sees us, because we are his children, and he sees us that we are unhappy, we are disturbed, and this is why Krishna has given us Bhagavad Gita, has sent Srila Prabhupada and all our acharyas to teach us how to be steady and balanced in all situations. I am sure we have learnt and understood the Bhagavad Gita shloka very nicely, and definitely we are going to think about it and then become steady and balanced in our life. I thank each one of you for listening to the words of God so patiently and attentively. Please do write what is your realization, what you have understood from this very verse. And now we shall meet the next week with a new verse. Till then, keep chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Watch this video and share it as much as possible with others, because this is the only way that we can do good to our own selves and good to others as well. Hare Krishna.